Hello, humans and non-humans. It's me again. Welcome back to my Hitless guide. This is part 2 of episode 3. In part 1, we tackled the undead settlement. This time, we'll be discussing the Road of Sacrifices and Crucifixion Woods. Shall we? Choose the old route, and you can go back, pick up the Flynn's ring and the Chloranthy ring, and you'll be safer for a time. But choose the red pill, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Okay, really, I'm gonna show you both, and there's no pills involved. The big difference is that the bosses during the run, for the most part, die a little bit more easily, being that you do more damage to them. But the later you get into the game, the less the Flynn's ring's damage increase actually affects how many hits it takes to kill bosses. This will mostly be a choice that pertains to your playstyle, and over time what equates to more runs completed, as you grind that PB down to a W. See what I did there? With the W. Never mind. The old route. Hey. Quit it. There are a few ways to safely pass the Boreal Outrider Knight. The best way is to wait for his cross/slash attack, the same attack that is most common to see as you pass him initially. Only here, you're waiting for it. As soon as you see it, simply run past him. Don't even look back. During the run, there will be moments where you find yourself having to wait, like when we make the Mimic kill the demon later on. Or like earlier, when the giant killed all those hollows. These are great times to pop souls or get equipment ready. When you get on the lift, turn your camera toward the entrance, like this. Listen for Sigurd to say, and then roll off the lift in that direction. Whatever you do, don't leave this platform until the demon is facing away from you and moving clockwise around that big bonfire. Once he is, it's safe to drop down, pick up this homeward bone, and then come and stand right about here while you wait for him to be facing away from you again. Take your time, but try to keep an eye on him. You don't absolutely need claw grip for this part, but it is helpful, and I highly recommend you learn it before we get to the Abyss Watchers. I'll throw a link in the description for a good video about this. Once you're to about this point here, you're basically safe, but that doesn't mean it's safe to stop. Run straight for the alluring skulls, and then dodge to the right 3 times to clear the cage spiders. You can use firebombs if rolling doesn't work for you. Just don't use any of your black firebombs. Walk to about this point here and throw an alluring skull directly in front of you. Throw one more skull right about here. After throwing that second skull, it's safe to take your time and let your stamina fill back up. But just keep in mind, skulls only last for about 5 seconds. Grab your Flynn's ring, and from here, just be sure not to kill yourself falling. Here's another homeward bone for you. If you left the elevator right when you heard Sigurd go, then you should have no less than this much health by the time you get here. It is possible to make this drop without healing, so if you're looking for swagger, on this run, I have 18 dex, but this can be done at 16. You'll be boning out, so heal if you want. Now just grab your Chloranthy ring and your mirror set for extra monies and break the fuck out. Passage through the Road of Sacrifices is only brief. All you need here is the soul of an unknown traveler and an optional Titanite shard. It is a transitory place, but linger at your peril. For the Corvians here do not like outsiders. Look at this guy. Totally doesn't like outsiders. Be swift and move on to the Crucifixion Woods. Before we go any further, make sure you equip your Flynn's ring and your Chloranthy ring. Anytime enemies are present, it's always a good idea to be sprinting for as much of the area as possible. Try to develop a sense for how much stamina you have at any given time, especially while in combat. Never let it be reduced to absolute zero. But for maximum efficiency, try to never let it get to 100% either. In the Soulsborne series, stamina management is vital, but that goes double for hitless runs. As usual, there is the slow way, and then there's the fast way. And again, as usual, the slow path is a little bit safer, and the fast path is a little bit more risky. The items you'll be getting on both paths are the Farron Coal, this Titanite Shard, and the Fallen Knight set. On the slow path, you get a little bit more money. There are 2 Souls of an Unknown Traveler, which are worth 800 each, the price of a Titanite Shard. Picking them up could actually save you time in the long run, considering later you'll be able to buy Titanite Shards, which means you'll be able to skip grabbing some of the ones that are a little further out of the way. On the fast path, you skip those, grab the Grass Crest Shield, and bounce before Mr. Krabs gets you. This time, let's start with the faster approach. Getting this damage cancel is tricky. You're essentially dodging gravity. You have to roll at the last second, but in order to do that, you need a surface to roll from. There is a path with enough surface area somewhere along here, and it's much easier to find while sprinting. This is gonna take practice. The reliability of this trick is kind of meh. 7 out of 10 maybe, even when you're pretty good at it. Personally, I just do it for fun. You could totally just jump off and recover roll. Even both of these drops combined can't kill you as long as you start with full health. If you're doing slow route, you'll need to heal before Farron Keep, but you can do that while you're waiting for the 2 Exile Knights. And on the fast route, the bonfire heals us. Alright, from the top. Both routes get this Titanite Shard. It's best to equip your Charcoal Pine bundles while running through the Road of Sacrifices, but I always forget and end up having to do it here. Okay, this strat is tricky to pull off. You'll definitely want to set up a save file for this. Alright, let's slow that down a bit and watch it again. You want to be at full stamina and at full sprint when you get to this route. And bundle right before or right after you start running. Try to start your swing right about the time you get to this rock right here. This dog is in a fixed position. He's there to ambush you if you come from the other side. If you come from this side, he'll have to turn to engage you, leaving him vulnerable. But you have to hit with your first swing or else everything falls apart. The reason this is so tricky is because the timing is very precise. Don't worry, I'm going to show you an alternate method, but we'll get to that. Getting the Grass Crest Shield is also extremely tricky, because you can't just go off of visual cues, you also have to go off of audio cues. You're listening for the crab's footsteps. He sounds different if he's about to attack you. I know, it sounds like it's going to be like way too hard. Well, if it was easy, everyone would do it. Drop down from this point here. Get a roll recovery, listen and decide, grab it as fast as you can, and then run the hell away. This strat seems sketchy, but it is consistent with some practice. If you miss your chance, leave the shield, continue on to the Farron Coal, and try again when you get back from the Homeward Bone. This lycanthrope doesn't actually aggro until you start to pass him, but don't waste time here because this poison bug has an instant attack that he can do. If he's too close to you, you might have to deal with it. Just follow my pathing here, unless you want to high-five the Black Knight. As long as you're fast and you manage your stamina properly, you should be able to break aggro with the lycanthrope. Now just grab your Farron Coal and Homeward Bone to the last bonfire. Okay, really quickly, I need to tell you a little something about this crab. He's big, he's mean, and he hates being on camera. But we have to get by him, so here's how you do it. From the bonfire, do not turn the camera, but run straight to this tree. And then turn right. You can follow my path here, or you can make your own. But whatever you do, don't let the camera see the crab. Not even for a second. Or this happens. As opposed to this. For the old route, we take the intended path down this ramp. Drop down here, recover, and drop down again. This is the first Soul of an Unknown Traveler. Now we're going to play a little game of connect the dots. You see these trees that I'm running up to? Those are the dots. Follow them and pass them on the left side. This enables you to sprint the entire time while avoiding the aggro of the first lycanthrope. And the rest is identical to the new route, so let's just speed it up, shall we? Remember, you can jump off the cliff instead of doing the damage cancel like the first time. It really doesn't make any difference. Grab the Titanite shard. We'll need that. Not that one. Okay. Here's the optional way to do this part. Stop your sprint right about here and then jog past this tree on the right hand side. From here, you can start sprinting at any time. This is your second Soul of an Unknown Traveler. From here, just drop down into the watery area and then repeat the steps from the fast route in order to deal with the crab. Remember, keep the camera off the crab, and all will be well. So, once you get to the little island thingy where the two exile knights are, you're gonna you're gonna do this strat right here. You see this route right here? Well, that's the tripwire point that activates the hidden exile knight. We'll see him in a second. We want to grab that soul over there, but that's also part of our strategy. Waste no time. Run up and activate the tripwire, and then make a beeline for the soul. Take a second to make sure both of the enemies are aggroed to you, and then run back over to this tree. Let them catch up for a second, and then bolt. Straight for this little ramp thing. It confuses them, and they'll have to go around. Get to the ladder as quickly as you can and slide down. Listen closely for their footsteps. If you hear them, you might want to roll when you get to the bottom, just in case one of them tries to plunge you. Well guys, that about wraps it up. Join me next time while we tackle Farron Keep, get our weapon to +4, and take down one of the most infamous bosses in the game, the Abyss Watchers. If you have any questions or criticisms, please feel free to comment. Or you can pay me a visit over at twitch.tv/vexgk, where I do these and other challenge runs live. See you next time, guys. Peace out.